What's the key part in the deed of assignment when you want to assign the IP from one party to another? It's probably not what you think. Hi everyone, it's Simon here. I just want to run you through what is the key part in a deed of assignment. Well, what I think is the key part in a deed of assignment. So, what is a deed of assignment? A deed of assignment is a document that allows one person to transfer the ownership of IP, such as a patent, a trademark or copyright, to another party. That's a relatively straightforward document. Generally, they're drafted as a deed so that you don't have to worry about consideration, because you don't need to worry about consideration, which is a formal concept for contracts. You don't need consideration with a deed, so that's why they're often done as a deed. But the key thing that most people don't think about with deeds of assignment are moral rights. So what does that mean? Well, there are basic moral rights that attach to the author or the creator of work. It's a copyright concept. So basically, if you've created, say, software, then the actual individual who created the software has moral rights in that copyrighted material. So I'm assuming the software is protected by copyright. What are the moral rights? They're the right to be known as the author, the right for someone else not to be credited with being the author, and the right not to do anything negative with the work that would ruin or damage the creator's reputation. So when you do a deed of assignment, you transfer the ownership of the IP from this party to this party. If it's a company, then you've got some potential problems, because if the employee of the company created the IP, it's the actual employee, the individual, that has moral rights. So when that company assigns the moral rights, or the IP I should say, when the company assigns the IP to the other entity, you want to make sure you deal with, in the deed of assignment, the moral rights. Now, you can't have a party waive the moral rights, but they can consent to those three rights being infringed. And that's what you want to make sure. So when you're doing a deed of assignment from a company, in the document, you want to make sure that the company seeks a warranty that they have sought from the actual creator of the copyright work, a warranty that they consent to their moral rights being infringed. And that way, when this party gets the ownership of the IP, then not only do they get ownership of the IP, but they don't have to worry about what they do with it. In other words, they don't have to worry about giving acknowledgement to who is the creator and potentially ruining reputations and things like that. So it's that moral rights component which basically grants a clear right for this entity over here to be able to use the IP. So I hope that makes sense. I'll just run through it again quickly because I'm a bit confused myself. Basically, when you want to transfer the ownership of IP, you want to make sure, specifically with copyright, that you include in the deed of assignment some method of handling or dealing with the moral rights of the creator or the author of those works. So what you want to do is have in the deed of assignment that there is a consent to the infringement of the moral rights. It is quite a tough concept, but all you need to really think about is that if you're granting the rights to someone else, or if you're this person over here and you're getting the rights, you want to make sure you have clear title to be able to use that IP for whatever you want. So you just got to make sure that that little tail that sort of attaches to the IP, which is the moral rights consideration, you want to make sure you get that dealt with as well. So that is a long way of saying that deeds of assignment can be a little bit complex, especially when it comes to copyright. If you're doing a deed of assignment for trademarks and patents, not so bad, don't worry about it. But copyright can be a bit of a pain in the backside. So anyway, that's my view as to what is the key part in a deed of assignment when you're transferring copyrighted material. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch. Thanks very much.